gentlemen, we have a special guest in the building. Round of applause for this brother, man. Actor, fitness trainer, model, dream team talent, and the Woe Agency. Round of applause,
So,
AJ. For A Small. Come on, man. Round of applause.
I appreciate it. Appreciate it.
Man, appreciate you, brother. How you feeling, brother? I know you this. We all up bright and early like the orange juice. How you feeling?
I'm good, man. I'm up early always. So usually I'm up 5 o'clock in the morning, man. So naturally, I don't know.
Nice.
I gotta fix that sleep schedule, man. It's a little crazy, but we
Gotcha. So I know you're a fitness trainer, so you be up, pumping the iron and everything, right? So
Yeah. So I still training clients right now. So usually I'm up 4:30 in the morning, train them, then I'll work out, and then I'll get my day started. Whatever that consists of for the day. So yeah,
Maybe at
gotcha.
that schedule.
mm, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Or what was the schedule before that? What was your schedule like before that?
Oh, before that, I was in school, so playing football. So I really, that's really why it's like that. So I was playing football, so getting up early, working out and stuff like that, and then
Yeah.
early practices. Just so I'm just used to having like early starts to the day and then long days in general. And I just
Yeah.
kind of never came off that schedule. So I started acting
Okay.
once I stopped playing football my junior year of college.
Yeah.
Um, and then really just I don't know, I just never fixed it from there. And then graduated from college, started acting, got into personal training and everything, and then yeah, it's been there ever since. So I keep saying I got to figure it out, but I'm not taking it. I'm not taking the steps to doing it, but I'm good though, man. I feel good all the
Yeah.
time.
Yeah. That's
Gotcha.
good. That's good. As long as you can
That's
see the
awesome.
benefits.
Oh, for sure, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes, sir, man. So let me ask you real quick, bro. Where are you originally from? You don't mind me asking?
Yeah, so I'm originally from Queens, New York. Came down here. Well, I'm in currently I'm in North Carolina. My family's here, so I'm out here visiting. But we just moved out here like my last couple of years of high school, and then went to East Carolina University. Mhm.
Nice. Nice. So New York, New York. I don't know what it is, but New York, it just keep on calling my name every time I talk to somebody. I'm like,
Hey,
wow.
Yeah,
we
hey
just
man, it's
ran
a
into
sign,
somebody
man.
from New York. Yeah, we just ran into somebody the other day in New
So
York.
where are you from originally?
I'm from Houston. I'm from Houston.
Okay,
Yeah.
I got to get
Keep
out
what
there,
about
man.
you?
Yeah.
I got to get out there.
Yeah.
Oh, bro.
Same. Houston.
Yeah.
Houston, okay, yeah, I got to get out there, man. I keep saying like my uncle moved out there a couple years ago. He been trying to get me out there, man. So I gotta go see what it's like. I hear good things.
Bro,
Where's your
hit
uncle
us.
at?
I'm not even sure where in Houston. I didn't even ask him. That's a shame, but I'm gonna hit him up and I'll ask him. I'm gonna get back to y'all. But yeah, he's out there. I keep telling him like I talked to him 2 days ago. Actually, I told him I was gonna get out there, so I got to make it happen. Man.
Yeah.
I gotta make it happen. I hear nothing but good things.
That's good.
Oh
That's
yeah.
good.
Oh yeah, man. It's all done with Southern hospitality down here, bro. You would
For sure,
enjoy it. So
definitely.
just be mindful. Well, I know New York is used to the traffic and the crazy weather, so you definitely will get that here, bro.
For sure. Okay.
When did you get the acting bug?
So I've always had it, man. Even as a kid, I think I always tell people like even in my bios and stuff that I submit, I just say like I have a lifelong um, passion for entertainment. I've always just
Mhm.
been wanting to be an entertainer in some regard. I think football was really my first love, and so that was just for me. It was just being on that big stage, and then I just love football, so I felt like that was a way to entertain. But
Mm,
always wanted to act. But just growing up was always football. Like, you couldn't tell me I wasn't going to the league, bro. Like I was going. You know what I mean?
Right. Right.
So I'm talking like 4 years old up into my junior year of college when I realized, all right, it's over. Let's sit it down. But
Mhm.
I always just thought I was going to the league. So like my everyday was just centered around that. I'm the type of person where when I get fixated on something, like that's it. I'm locked in. I throw the blinders on and like that's it. Everything in my life has to revolve around that, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, I've always had it. Like I said, I stopped playing football in college, my junior year of college, and then I was like, let me just might as well, it's the perfect time to pursue acting, because I didn't know at that point what I was going to do, but I knew that the whole 9 to 5 thing, and I don't knock it, but I just knew it wasn't going to be for me. I wouldn't be happy in that
Yeah.
space. So I was like, I got to figure out, the next passion. And acting was like, I was like, okay, well, let me just tap into this.
Yeah. And so you were always doing it that you saw as you were growing up, and then you just shifted to that after football, or you wasn't acting at first
Yeah.
at all.
So no, I wasn't acting at all. It's been a couple times. You know, they do little Disney things in the mall. I begged my mom to try to
Yeah.
get me into those, and she was like, "It's a scam, it's a scam," and I was mad at her. But
Oh, yeah.
a couple of them was a scam, so you know, I'm glad she had that discernment and didn't allow me to
Yeah,
get
for
into
sure.
that. But so I always wanted to, but like I said, I was just dead set on football, so that was really it for me.
Yeah. Okay.
Like I said, I'm going to the league. In my mind, I was like, I'm gonna go to the league, and then I see football players all the time in these TV and movie roles, so I'll just branch off
Mhm.
after I'm in the league. You know,
Right.
I mean, I had my whole life set up.
Yeah. 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 Well,
Sure,
it's good to see that you can do both, or it's good to see somebody that you look up to, other football players doing both. So it keeps you,
mm,
out of one box. There's nothing wrong with doing
absolutely,
one thing, but you can also expand your portfolio as well. So that's
for
good.
sure, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So who
Yeah.
was one of the, let me just ask another question and James, I'll let you take it. But like, who
Go
was
ahead.
some of the first actors that you kind of gravitated to when you found out that you had this passion?
Ah, man, I don't want to be cliche, man, but honestly, Denzel, like that was just
Okay.
I don't know, it's just something powerful about his. I think just his versatility and his range, even till today.
Mhm.
Um, when I just watch stuff just to kind of study like different, different techniques, different methods, and seeing like, okay, what choices could I make? And this like what choices did this person make? How can I make these choices or similar choices, and incorporate them in the things that I do? Just the versatility in his range, man. I think, like I said, I don't want to be cliche. I feel like everybody says Denzel, but man, it's like honestly, I think it's just a testament to who he is and the work that he
His
puts in
level,
is
yeah,
is truly amazing. Yeah, man, it's amazing. It's
for sure.
and then just watching him, even like him and just in interviews and just talking, it's like you can get
Mhm.
so much. Even
Mhm.
30-second reels on Instagram, it's like yo, I watch them and I'm like yo, it just opened up so much to me. So I think he's definitely one of the top ones. Um, but I think honestly, I don't. Other than that, I don't really have, I guess, favorites. I think I see people and I say, okay, let me take from here, take from there. The top actors. Let me take from here, take from there. Even the people that aren't considered like the top actors. Like I got peers now that are amazing. And they
Nice.
people don't really know about them. But my
Yeah.
boy Brandon Michael Hall, shout out to him. He's doing great things. He's actually doing a
Yeah.
play right now. And just I actually went to go watch him in Pasadena, California, a couple weeks ago. Man, it was just amazing. And
Yeah.
so just watching him and saying, okay, I like that. I can incorporate this. I'm gonna incorporate that. So, but I think
Mhm.
that's what it's all about, man. Acting. That's why I tell everybody that's like, oh, I want to get into acting. I tell them, man, yo, just that's what it is. It's like anything else. You got to study it, and it's more so. It's so much more about the choices you make and how you make those choices, then people I think people just assume that, oh, I got to learn this script. Like they can get anybody to
Uh-huh.
memorize a script and recite lines, you
Yeah.
know what I mean? But
Yeah.
when you really
Yeah.
like get into that space and you're making these choices and you really like becoming these characters, I think that's really where it comes from. So I always tell people, man, just lean into that,
Right.
sitting there. When you're watching TV shows, like just watch certain things, look for certain things, see how they deliver this. And I don't know. I'm sorry, man. I don't want to get long winded, but I'm
Nah,
really so
Nah.
passionate about it, man. When I get talking
You're
about it,
saying
man, I
everything
can
that
go
we
on
talk
forever.
about. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
I can
yeah,
go on
Yeah.
yeah,
For
forever,
sure.
man.
yeah,
And
and that's what
somebody
this
need to hear
this
it.
is what this platform is for. Like we call it the spotlight
Mhm.
because it's spotlight on you, and we trust me, you're not the first actor that says that. Like, sorry, I'm long way. Like, no, this is about you and your
Yeah,
dreams, your goals, and everything else. So yeah, please, like
for
you
sure.
sharing your story is going to help out others that tune in and watch this. So share what you can, bro.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
For sure. Absolutely. Yep. Yep.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. And I would ask you a little bit more about the football question. So did you take that competitive spirit from football and adapt it to your acting and modeling lifestyle, or what did you do in order to? Because y- us as actors, because we're actors as well too, and creators.
Yep.
We always do say it's a team effort, but that competitive spirit come through. So how did you take that you know, athletic and sports driven mentality and adapt it to your acting and your arts?
And I'm not gonna lie to you. I take that competitive spirit. I put it in everything. Like I'm the most
Everything.
competitive person in the world. I gotta like. We can be whether it's playing sports, whether it's we can go out and play beer pong somewhere, and I'm like super competitive. Like, yo, we need to win. Like, I don't know. I just got that competitive bug. So yeah, definitely took it from football, brought it to acting. Um, I think though, man, I always tell people the story about the shift from football to acting. So for football, for me, man, it was just if I was, third string or second string or backup, whatever the case may be, it's like I can work to be, you put in a certain amount of work. I got to beat this person right here, and I can
Mm,
be a starter,
Mhm.
And that was it always came easy to me because football is something that just always came natural to me. So I just know if I can beat this guy and outperform this guy, then I'm good. Acting is so different because there is no direct person you're trying to beat out. You can literally, me and you could be can audition for the same role, and I can, and it's everything is so subjective too. So we can't even say you know, submit a better audition than you. But even if that was a thing, I can submit a better audition for you, and they can still say, well, we like his look a little better, so we're gonna go with him. And the thing is, you never know. So I think I'm super competitive, to the point where like almost to a fault sometimes though, where I feel like really back because I say that mainly in like self tapes. I'll mess up one line in a self tape and be like, no, I gotta do the whole thing over. I gotta do the whole thing over. And it's a beautiful take. But I'm like, no, I gotta do it over. I gotta do it over. And I think for a while I was doing that, and it was being a hindrance to me because now I'm sitting here. I'm like, yo, I'm 12 takes in, man, and I lost it. Now I'm out of it. I'm not even in no more, and I can't even deliver the lines the way I want to because I was so fixated on this thing. So yeah, that I think the competitive nature comes in that regard, and I think that I try not to compare myself to my peers. I have peers that that have booked way more than me. I have some that have booked less than me, but it's just you can't be competitive in that regard. I'll say I've learned that trying to keep up with people because it's really not up to you. You can only do what you can do. For a while, especially when I first started, man, it was a lot of me submitting these roles and sitting there waiting for it. I'm like, oh, I gotta wait. Like I'm waiting for it to come back. I'm waiting to hear something, and then you never hear something. And what I always tell people is they're like, well, how do you know if you get the role or not? Do they tell you? And I was like, it's kind of like a job interview. It's kind of not, job interview. You submit it, they'll let you know, hey, we loved your credentials or whatever the case may be, but we're gonna go with other candidates. And I tell people all the time, you don't really know that you didn't get the role until you watching TV, and you like, I know those lines. Like, what's going on? It's like, I didn't get it. I guess I didn't get it, right? And so, yeah, that's so for me. I had to kind of just take a different approach to when I did self tapes and everything. Like, with being competitive, so like I had to rein it in a little bit, like be competitive and like compete with myself. Wanting to put my best foot forward and like let's make this a better audition. Subjectively, let's make this a better audition than the last one. Let's get deeper into that emotional bag, or let's get deeper into let's hit these marks differently than we did in the last one, right? Let's put a better showing on tape than we did the last one. Because you can't really compete with the person next to you. There is no person next to you. It's really just you and that camera at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And so now I'm in a space where I submit for a role and I forget about it. I think for me, that's the most beneficial way. Because for a while, man, if I'm just being transparent, I would submit for roles and I'd be sitting there waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting. And you go a while without booking, and you start getting your head crazy. And it's like, dang, am I not good enough? Like, should I give up on this? Like, what's wrong with me? Am I not a good actor? And you psych yourself out of it. Man, what? And then, like I always tell people, comparison is a thief of joy. But it's like, I'm not booking. I ain't booked nothing in months. And I'm on Instagram. My boy, 3 weeks straight he booking. And I'm like, man, like, I'm not trying to compare to him. And also, like, I'm happy for him. But it's like, man, what am I doing wrong? So now I just, I get an audition, knock it out, submit it, obviously put my best foot forward and do everything I can, control what I can control. I preach that as well. But yeah, send it in. After I send it in, I just kind of just leave it there,
Amen.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so just kind of piggybacking off of that, what took you away from football to acting? I'm sorry. I don't know if you said.
Yeah, no, you're fine. So football, it was just, I think I always tell people in the business, once the business side of football got incorporated to it, man, it just kind of took the love out of it for me. And I always said, it just became a lot less fun. And I always said that if I wasn't 100% in, I wasn't going to do it. I think football is one of those things, man. It takes so much dedication, and people think that it's just, the preseason and then the season, and that's what it is. But man, it's a year-round thing. You got to take care of your body year-round. After the first couple games of the season, it's like you hurt all year. Like you hurting all year. Everybody's hurting. Nobody's 100% after the first couple games. So off season is just you getting back right, getting your body right, and then getting right back to the grind. And I always said that if I wasn't 100% in, I wasn't going to do it. And so I got to a point where I really sat with myself and I realized, like, man, I'm only like 85% invested. And I was just like, I don't want to disrespect the game. Like, I got more love for it than that.
That's good.
So I just kind of figured it was my time to step away from it. And I was like, well, maybe, this isn't what it's supposed to be. Definitely, man, got into like a deep state of like just sadness for a very long time, just because, you know, like I said, like my whole life was just I'm playing, I'm
Football.
going to the league, I'm doing this. So when I realized like, yeah, that wasn't gonna be my reality, it hurt a lot, you know. But I think I found I can still be involved in the game of football. Like I started coaching and stuff, so I think I can be involved with the game, but not playing it. I still miss playing, like to this day. Like I was telling my boy the other day, like man, we'd make jokes all the time. Like man, if I was this size when I was playing, bro, it'd have been over. You know, 'cause I was a little dude playing, man. You know, but yeah. So then, but it's a blessing. It was a blessing in disguise, honestly, because then I got into acting. You know, if I stayed with that, I probably would have never, you know, tapped into acting the way I did. You know, and it's truly my life's work now, and it's my life's passion for sure. So.
Yeah, and I think you really got to be tapped into your higher power, because they say everything happens for a reason. So if it's your higher power first, then, you know, we can kind of lean on, or, you know, I would think you would be able to lean on, like, you know what, football was good for me, but this obviously is where I'm supposed to be, you know, and where my purpose is, you know what I'm saying? So football was just that thing to probably create that competitive beast in you, you know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
So that you can have that mentality, and then, you know, you never know how you'll still use it, you know, in a film or coaching, like you say, or working with other athletes, building other people. And then, you know, you do fitness and everything. So it's still there. You know what I mean? Like nothing that we do,
still there. Yep.
we don't have to let anything go, especially in the acting world. You know, we can be who we want to be. We can be where we want to be. We can do, you know, just all these great things in acting. So
for sure.
I'm just excited that you were able to take that transition and still use the mentality of it to make you a competitive beast, right? In the acting world.
Absolutely.
And so they say that modeling is a completely different beast. How do you deal with like the negativity of, oh, he's a model, he's not really an actor, or do you get any of that? Do you experience any of that?
I think to a small degree. I think people will see me like fitness wise working out and stuff, and I think a lot of times they just assume I'm a model.
Okay.
So yeah. So which is I appreciate it. But I always say I'm an actor first. You know, I'm an actor that models. I'm not a model that acts. And you know, and I'm an actor that works out. I'm an actor that just happens to work out, and I have like, you know, a certain type of discipline and consistency. I'm not a trainer that acts. You know what I mean? Because when I first started, I remember I did a commercial. I was in Atlanta. So when I first started acting, I've been acting for a few months, like signed to an agency. Remind me about that. I want to tell y'all that story too. That's a crazy story too, how I started. But yeah, so I get on set and everybody's like, oh, you know, we all connected and stuff. Everybody gets on my Instagram and they're like seeing me, my posting my workouts and stuff. I had a lot of workouts on my Instagram, and everybody's like, oh, you're a trainer. And it should have been like flattering. People would think it's flattering, but I'm kind of like, dang, like, nah, I don't want people to see me and think, oh, trainer. You know what I mean? He's a trainer that acts sometimes. Like, no, I'm an actor. You know what I mean? I'm an actor that happens to train. You know what I mean? So going back to the question, I think that I think people hear about me in certain roles and they're like, oh, they try to guess the role I was in. And it's always like, like they'll be like, oh, you were a stripper. You were the stripper role. And I'm like, nah, it wasn't. Like, I was just acting. Like, I was I had a regular role, you know. But so I think I do enjoy modeling for sure. I think number one thing in my life I say is acting. You know, as far as like, you know, passion and things I like to do. I do really enjoy modeling. I love modeling. But I think acting is always first. I always say that I'm an actor that models, because sometimes people say, oh, you're a model. Oh, you act as well? I said, no. I'm an actor and I model as well. You know what I mean? So always got to clear that up whenever it's brought up.
Yeah. Well, you definitely clear that up now and let them know just by saying this. So we definitely will make a post or clip for this. So when they go through your Instagram, they're like, no.
This I'm an actor. That happens the model. Hold on now. Let's say.
With some respect on
my. But I appreciate all the love, man. I do appreciate all the love. I know it doesn't come from a malicious place most times. And even when it does, man, I'm just not really a fan of public opinion like that in that regard. You know, I appreciate the love, appreciate the support, but at the end of the day, you know, somebody say something negative, I'm not really one to take it home with me. It's just kind of like, all right, cool. I guess you're entitled to your opinion at the end of the day. Your opinion to me don't move me one way or another. Like it doesn't, you know what I mean? Like, I don't want to sound like that, but I'm just saying, like, somebody having a negative opinion of me does not make me think any less of myself. It's not gonna make me move any differently. Like I know self, I know who I am at the end of the day, and I just move in that,
Yeah.
you know.
Absolutely.
Facts.
Absolutely.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now you said it was a story that you want to share with us.
Oh
About the
man, so
agency.
how I started acting, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So literally, I'm playing football, and the
Mm,
day I decided, I really sat with myself and decided I wasn't gonna play. Went to the coaches. I was like, yeah, like I'm not gonna play. It was a whole big thing about, you know, because so in high school I played quarterback. I
mm,
was like 5'8", 5'9". My junior year going into my senior year, clearly like way too short to play quarterback. Not gonna happen probably. So then I had to switch positions. So I went played receiver and defensive back. And I actually ended up growing. So like now I'm like 6 foot, which
mm.
is like
Okay.
of course, which is
Yeah.
still kind of short for quarterback. But I could have made it work a little bit at
Could
6 foot.
have
I
made
could have
work.
made
Could
a
have
little
made work.
something up.
Yeah.
You know, what I mean, a little something. But
Yeah.
so I ended up going to college. I get a preferred walk on. So I go there. I had some other offers. I really wanted to go to East Carolina though, so I took the preferred walk on. Went there, walked on, and everything. Whatever. Um, and then they got a new coach that came in. It was a whole big mess.
Mm,
Anyways, I ended up. Let me get back to the point. The point is, that day when I decided that I wasn't gonna play anymore, I was like, I'm just not 100% in it no more. Just so much. Like I said, the business side got into it, man, and it killed it for me. So I decided like I wasn't gonna play. Literally sat in a parking lot. It's called the UBE store. People that with the ECU, they'll know UBE store. I sat in the parking lot and bawling, crying, man.
yeah.
And I'm the type of person where I like to feel things, allow myself to feel them things. It's important you feel those emotions and everything, and like deal with that.
Nice.
But then after that, it's like, all right, what's next? We got to move on. We got to keep going. So did that. Boom. Went home, and I was like, I'm about to like really get into acting for real, because like I had been thinking about it and looking at certain things. So I looked up a couple agencies and things like that, man. There was one here in Charlotte. There was actually one in Raleigh as well, like smaller agencies. Um, and there was one more. I can't forget where it was at. But I went to all three of them. I want to say Atlanta, maybe. So yeah,
Mm,
I went to Charlotte, to that one. I went to the one in Raleigh, and I went to the one in Atlanta. And they were having like in person, just like auditions. And so I went there, and all three of them kind of went about the same way. They give you like a half sheet of paper. I still remember it to this day. It was like a Lowe's commercial. Um,
mm,
so they give you the sheet of paper, and it's a bunch of people there. And I'm like, man, some of them acted. I'm talking to them in line, like, you acted before? They're like, yeah, I've acted before. And I'm like, dang, I've never acted before. Like, I got to find a way to get in here, like
yeah.
make myself
Yeah.
known. So my mind, I'm about to walk in the door. I said, man, look, I'm gonna try to memorize this the best I can, and I'm gonna go in there without the paper, and I'm gonna try to impress them. You know what I mean? I gotta do something.
Yeah.
So I walk into the room. I try to memorize it best I can. I walk into the room. The dude's like, "You're not." He said, "You can use the paper." I was like, "No, I'm cool." He's like, "You're not. You sure?" I was like, "Yeah, it's cool." I go in there. All three of them really went the same way, and I knock it out. And they actually offered me to sign there, and they wanted to like, give me like some classes and stuff like that. But they offered to sign me. So that was pretty cool there. That was like my first experience with like that was the first time I ever like had a script at all in life. Like I've done like I think I've done like school plays before,
Mm,
smaller productions like that. But that was the first time in like I guess my professional career that I had a script, and I just kind of like I was like I got to stand out somehow because I'm not. Some of these people have acted already. They already got the chops. I don't know what I'm doing. I just know I want to act. I'm walking in here and I'm like, look, I'm gonna just try to memorize this the best I can, and hopefully I just surprise them. But I was like, it's gonna go really good or really bad because if I go in here and I can't remember nothing, I look crazy. I look arrogant, like, oh, you ain't serious about this. But
yeah.
it ended up working out. Got with a couple agencies, with a great agency. Now we dream right now, as we said, So it definitely, yeah, man, that's how I got my start though. So I just wanted to kind of put that out there real quick.
Yeah. Nah, that's cool, man. And do you miss, like, I know we're in the self tape era. Do you miss the time when you actually have to go to an actual audition, like drive to it or whatever, and be in the room with others? Do you miss that as an actor?
Yeah, so I started acting when I got my first like acting role, or my first when I first started getting auditions. And my first
Mm.
audition was July of 2021. So all
Ah,
I really know is like self tapes for real.
self tape.
What
Okay.
I've done a few in person, and I will say like I prefer in person, just for
Yeah.
me. Um, like even like when I get the callbacks in person, like I love them. I prefer it in person. Just because it kind of I kind of live off pressure. Like I'm good in pressure moments. Self tapes, I don't really feel that same pressure. I know if I mess up, I can just redo it, but
Right.
when you in person, it's like, it's that added pressure to like, I got to deliver this right
Mhm.
first. You only gonna get one or
Yeah.
two, takes usually.
Yeah.
So I prefer that, man. It just feels natural to me. I feel like I can, even if I do stumble up or mess up, like I'm giving the raw emotion, in
Yeah.
those first couple takes. I always say like the first 2 to 3 takes is where you're gonna get that raw emotion. Anything after that, I feel myself personally. I don't know about anybody else, but for me personally, I feel like I'm losing it a little bit. You know what I mean? I'm not saying I can't put on a great performance still, but it's definitely not. I feel like the emotional, it's not the same as you know, as if I did it the first couple times. And so, like even now, like, that's how I do my self tapes now. I get the script, I lock it in, like even like memorization. I'll like recite the lines on my phone, and I'll just go drive and I'll listen to it. So I have it playing like it's a song. Um,
Mm.
in the car. So I just listen to it like that. I'll come home, I kind of rest, just kind of chill, don't think about it for a little bit. Maybe give it like 30 minutes, maybe read over it one more time, and then go record it. I'll give it like 2 or 3 takes and then be done with it. Sometimes 4 if I just want to, give a different, you know, take on it. But after that, man, whatever I got is what I got. And I try
Yeah.
to just move on like
Yeah.
that. Yep.
And when you're listening to it, do you record it as the actor, or you just say it like you're maybe reading a book?
Yeah, so I'll do it a
What's
couple different ways. So so just reading it, I'll be at home and I'll read it. And I'll just read it all the way through, just the memorization, just to get the lines down. I don't read it with like any type of emotion or anything. It's very monotone. Just read it to make sure I got the lines down. And
Mhm.
I'll do it 2 ways. I'll actually read it one way as if I'm the reader, and then so
Mm.
when I'm listening back to it, I'll respond. Or sometimes
Mhm.
I'll do the reverse. I'll do it as myself, and then I'll try to get the reader's lines. Just sometimes it just depends on where
Nice.
I'm at. I
Yeah.
know that second part is strange, but it helps sometimes. It's just the way I do it sometimes. You know,
Yeah.
just so when I actually have my reader, like just I can just keep up with where I'm at and things like that. But most of the times
Yeah.
I'm recording the reader's version, and so when I'm in the car listening, I'll hear the reader's lines and I'm responding to it. So,
Mhm.
mm,
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Now we all got our ways of how we memorize, brother. Trust me.
Yeah,
I
for
just be in
sure.
there
Oh man.
writing, memorizing, mirror everything that I can think of to memorize mine. So yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say anything weird.
Yeah, for sure.
As long as you get the dialogue
Exactly. As
that's
long
going
as you
on in
get
the
it.
scene, yeah, and be able
I mean, man,
to.
I be in the gym working out. I know people think I'm insane. I'm in the gym. I'm lifting, and they're like, "You talking to me?" I'm like, "No, no, 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 no." I'm talking, like reciting lines, and people looking at me like, what are you doing?" But yeah, man, it's
Yeah.
like, whatever it works. I mean, I'm in the
Yeah.
Yeah.
sauna, talking to myself. They don't know if I'm singing or if I'm talking to myself. Yes, well, whatever you got to do, man. I always tell people,
Yeah, for
whatever
sure.
works.
Mhm.
Yeah, I have one set way yet, but I have tried the record method and it's worked. I don't know if anything
Mm,
else will work. But yeah, that's pretty much all I got as outside of just reading it over, 100 times.
yeah, and
So,
sometimes it take that, man. And like James saying, I write. I've like started writing too. You know,
mhm.
I'll write it down too. I'm a little ADHD though, man. So just sitting there writing it, I'd be like, So I think me getting in the
Yeah.
car and like having to focus on driving and then reciting it, I think that kind
Mm.
of works a
Mhm.
little better for me. Yeah. Because I mean,
Okay.
it's just like because the way I thought about it was like I hear a song like 2 3 times and I got it. You know what I mean? And I was just
Yeah.
like,
Nice.
why don't I
Nice.
just do that with my scripts? So like just
Yeah,
read it out, and I'm listening to it like a song, and it kind of comes up the same way. So
that makes
Smart.
sense.
yeah.
Smart.
Okay, man. Correct me if I'm wrong, but were you on the set of Fatal Attraction? When your
I was.
shorts was covered in blood or something? Oh, that was Fatal Attraction. So
Yeah.
tell us about that
Yep. Fatal
experience.
Attraction. Yep. Oh
Okay.
man, so that was one of my Fatal Attraction. What was my first one? No, my first one was Vengeance. I did Vengeance, Killer Millionaires.
Mhm.
Hmm.
I did Fatal Attraction, then I did American Detective. It's dope. I think that I don't know. I hear people speak down on those roles sometimes. I'm like, why?
Mhm.
Like
Mhm.
a role is a role. I don't look at roles as like a big role or a small role. Like
Okay.
having the opportunity, man, just to be because what you consider a small role, somebody is auditioning and begging to get that role. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I just feel like
Yeah.
I don't take nothing for granted. You know what I mean? So any role I get, like I
Yeah.
put my best foot forward. Regardless.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was fun, man. It was cool. It was the first time I dealt with it was one of my first roles, so like first time dealing with like fake blood, um,
Mm.
anything like that. So it was just, and it also, man, just I'm I'm kind of like, I'm the type of person where I'm not just an actor. Like I know one day I want to get into producing and directing.
Yeah.
So when I'm on set, I'm paying attention to everything. Like I'm in everybody's ear, and I know it's probably annoying to them, but I'm sorry, I got to do it. Cameraman, I'm asking them certain things. Like I'm looking at certain things when I'm not on screen. I'm kind of watching them, kind of watching the producer, the director, excuse me. Um, but yeah, it was an amazing experience just to be, on set, just to be on set and knowing like, and then afterwards, man, just being on TV. Everybody's like, "Oh my God, you on TV? You on TV?"
Yeah.
And people, and I don't think you don't really realize like how much people really like these shows, man. I'm in the airport one
Yeah.
time, and this lady's like, "I know you," and I'm like, "You don't know me." She's
Yeah.
like, "No, you were on the show, you killed it." I'm like, "Oh wow, like okay, yeah." So I'm like, "Yeah, maybe
Yeah.
you do know me a little bit, but
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, man, it was an amazing experience, man. But like I said, man, every role I do, like I just I think I take it as a blessing. I'm blessed to be here,
Yeah.
and just to be able to do this. I know there's so many people that I even know personally that are like, man, I'm trying to book this role. I'm trying to book this role. And
Mhm.
so any role that I am able to book, man, I thank God for it. And I'm just like extremely blessed. And I know like I'm blessed to be here, and I try not to take anything for granted.
Yeah. Yes,
Yeah, for
sir.
sure. Yeah, I think
That's
that I like what you said about asking questions. I think that is good to ask questions.
Mhm.
It's a time, and it's a time, but when
For
you
sure.
do get that time and you go and you asking questions, you're trying to learn everything. That's what has
Hmm.
made me sharper. I'll say my film set IQ. I understand what the camera's doing. I understand what the director's doing. I understand what the AD's doing. I understand what makeup,
Hmm.
set, wardrobe, acting, everything. Oh, they changing lenses.
Oh, for sure.
These all
Hmm.
trigger things in my mind, and so you probably had that same IQ I'm hearing. And it's good to
Absolutely.
know if you for yourself, because some people just want to act, but if you see other stuff in your repertoire that you want to do, then yeah,
Hmm.
asking questions and learning. What better way, you know what I'm saying, than on hands experience?
Absolutely.
That on hands experience can't be beat.
Absolutely. And
So
then,
yeah, I
like I
think
said,
that's real
and
good.
when you start out acting, man, just learning like the verbiage of everything, that way when you get to
Verbiage,
these,
very important.
these bigger productions, so to speak,
Mhm.
um,
Mhm.
you're not like in the dark. You're not like they're telling you something and you're
Correct.
like, don't know
Correct.
what to do. So I
Yeah.
think it's everything's a learning experience, and I think every role that I've gotten in every set that I've been on has been a building block. You know what I mean? And I've learned
Mhm.
more. Like I've left that set knowing more than when I came, and I think that's the biggest thing about everything. I think that's the purpose of it all.
Yeah.
yeah.
Nice.
Mhm.
Yeah. Taking everything in like a sponge and learning from it, and
Oh, absolutely.
adding more to what to your craft. That
Hmm.
always helps as well, man.
Absolutely.
And I want to ask you real quick. So I saw that you was on the set of Raising Canaan. True.
Yep.
So I looked at that and I like what you posted because that was very inspirational. Where
Mhm.
you were saying that you pretty much had to think of the choice of day job or your passion, and of
Yeah.
course you picked.
Whew.
So
Oh,
tell us
absolutely.
about that
Every time,
story. Yeah, tell us
man.
about that story when you was on set and your mindset of going through that day. What was going on?
Yeah. So yeah, man. I went to New York. I booked the role. Went to New York. Of course, I told them at the time I wasn't there. We had moved. So this is like we out of college. So we were in North Carolina. Of course, they hit me back about the role, and this was self-submitted too. And so they got back to me, and they were like, "Are you local?" Of course, I'm always local. Wherever. So I'm like, "Yeah, of course." And they're like, "Okay, cool. We need you out here. This is like I want to say a Friday." And they're like, "Okay, well, we need you out here." Um, Sunday, because this is when COVID and everything, you had to get COVID tested um, every day before that. So I think we filmed on like I want to say Friday and Saturday,
Yeah,
and literally got COVID tested Sunday, Monday to like every day, and then twice on the days, if I'm remembering correctly. So yeah, I go out there, man, and I got this job. I'm fresh out of college. I got this good job. I'm making like 65K. Like you can't tell me nothing. I'm balling, and
yeah,
I've always any job that I've gotten, I always know that once I started acting, like any job I've gotten, I just knew it was a means to an end. Yeah, I'm
yeah.
not gonna be here long. Not telling them that, but I always know like I'm not gonna be here too long. Like as soon
Of
as
course.
I can get out, I'm gonna get out. It's a means to an end. Everything I'm doing now is to fund this career, and this lifestyle that I want. So, anyways, fast forward, fly out to New York, all out of pocket, by the way. Fly out to New York, pay so much for the plane ticket and the hotel and everything. Fly
Mhm.
out there. I get out there. and it's just tough. I'm working, but I gotta go do this COVID test, so I gotta leave during work. I'm like, oh, I'm going on lunch, taking lunch break. I'm leaving. They hit me. Where you at? Where you at? Phone going crazy. Where you at? So I'm doing this. I'm doing that. And then I'm telling them like, I think I lied, man. I think I said like, oh, I got something going on with the family, so I can't like be fully here right now. Yeah. So then that's when I kind of realized, man, jobs they don't really care, man, because they was like, okay, well, when can you get back? They didn't ask me no questions about nothing. I'm like, well, yeah, I'm lying, but what if I wasn't? You know, like, what if I wasn't lying?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
y'all just really don't care.
Hilarious.
And so,
Yeah.
man, I'm on the train. Like, I'm from New York, so like I'm on the train, and it hit me up, and I'm just really realizing. I was like, for me, that was like my fork in the road. It was like, look, like mind you, I had no exit plan, no backup plan, or nothing. I had just really started the job, so it's not like I had a bunch of money stacked up or anything like that. And I had literally just gotten paid, and all that whole check was gone, getting to New York and staying up in the hotel. So I'm out there really with no money, and I don't come from money. You know, I don't I don't come from super. I don't have parents that have money inherently. So man, it was just me, and like I said, just got paid, spent the whole check on getting out there. So I don't really have no money and too much money, nothing like that, man. And I'm just like, I'm on a train. I'm like, yeah, this is gonna be the fork in the road because I have to make a decision. Am I gonna, put this role aside for this job, or am I gonna say, look, this is my passion? And I was like, if I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do it full fledged, and I'm gonna make the decision right now. And so literally on the train, once the train stopped, because once you move, and ain't no service. So we stopped at the station, at the next stop, excuse me, and I let them know. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna resign immediately. Got up out of there.
Yeah.
Finished the role, went home, and I said I will just figure it out from here.
Yeah.
But I've always, it sounds so crazy, man. But I've always, like I said, I don't come from money or anything like that. I've always had to hustle and grind, and so and my thing is, for my passion, I don't mind doing that. I don't mind picking up odd end jobs or doing whatever I got to do to fund that. I just knew that I wasn't gonna let anything get in the way of my passion, and this thing was a barrier in the way, and it had to be moved. And so that meant me quitting the job. I left a lot of, like I said, man, fresh out of college making 65K, man, I was on top of the world, what I mean? And it's during COVID. I didn't have to, it's during COVID. I wasn't going nowhere, nothing like that. So, but I made the decision. Best decision I've ever made. And it was hard, man. For some time, it was hard,
That's
just making, ends meet. And man, it was so hard. I won't even sit here and pretend that it wasn't. It was so hard, man. Just trying to, for like a while, for like years. And it's like, man, there's definitely times where I'm not looking and I'm like, man, I should have kept that job, man. At least I would have, had the money. I'm like, man, what was I thinking, bro? Why did I do that? But it's the best decision I've ever made, man. Best decision I've ever made. And I always tell people, I'm not encouraging nobody to, I want to get on here and say this. I'm not telling nobody to quit their job, especially in this economy.
Same thing I say.
The world is crazy right now. So I'm not telling you to quit your job. I'm just saying, for me personally, it just meant more for me to have that flexibility and to pursue that passion than it did for that job. And I just said, I'll figure it out, whatever it takes. Like I'll figure it out. I'm committed to figuring it out. So
it's funny because I tell people, my personal people who I talk to, I say, I'll never tell anybody to do it how I did it, where I just jumped. I didn't have a backup plan. I had no money saved up. So
don't jump in that water. Don't jump in. I'm never telling nobody jump in that water with no floaties if you can't swim, man. I just knew I could swim and I was gonna figure it out. So I don't know how deep the water is. So I'm gonna figure it out regardless.
Follow your passion, but be prepared. You can be prepared.
Yeah, be prepared. Oh, it's tough. But like I said, I come from nothing. So like it just don't really phase me. Not having money didn't really phase me like that. It was tough, to just move around, things like that, when you got real life responsibilities and things. But like literally when I say I grew up less than nothing, it don't really phase me not having, doing what I can do without if I have to, So money's never really been like it's good to have it, don't get me wrong, but it's never been this end all be all thing for me. So if I always tell people like that, if you're not really living like that, like don't hey man, just don't jump out there like that, because it does get it is a little treacherous for sure. But like I said, best decision I've ever made. And I think
for sure
at that point it just made me like this has to work. I've given up too much for it to not work, you know what I mean? So it's got to work.
Yeah. Oh, I like that. It's got to work.
Yes sir. Yeah, go ahead, Q.
Okay, so let's see, we got you not one but two bookings, which was highlighted as a milestone moment under Dream Team Talent. Shout out to Vilma.
Absolutely.
So share
Oh yeah,
with
shout out
us,
to Velma.
a little bit about that experience, but not
Man,
too much on those bookings.
yeah. So I'll say what I can. So
Yeah.
the one obviously was with Tyler Perry.
Mhm.
That was
Okay.
just, and I tell you, cried like a baby, man. And
Yeah.
I'm not, anybody knows me, like that'll probably be a surprise. I don't get too emotional. Like I don't, like I've
Okay.
been family members' funerals, and then like I just can't work up the tears. It just doesn't happen. But man, like
Mm.
this is gonna be a testament, man. Last year was such a tough year in my journey, man. Just not booking, really. Like I booked like a couple things, but man, just really not booking, and that was the longest I've gone without booking stuff. And I'm just like, man, when I tell you, I got into the deepest spot of, am I not good enough? Like, should I
Hmm.
look at other things? Like, should I apply for like different jobs? Like, should I just get a job? Like, because like right now I'm just like personal training and grinding and doing these things. I'm like, man, I got a whole degree. Like, I could be out here. I got a physical wellness degree. Like, I could be out here, in a high paying
Right.
job, making good money. Like, and I'm out here. The only reason I don't do those things, and I'm kind of like an entrepreneur and hustling and doing these things on my own, is because like I want that flexibility. I want to be able to have that flexibility to move around as I need and want to. I'm like, man, I could, if I'm not gonna be booking, I'm sitting here not doing nothing. I could have just got a job, man, working, a little office job, making a bunch of money,
Mhm.
which really wouldn't make me happy. But that's just the
Facts.
headspace you get into when you're not really booking, man, and it's tough. And so I just kind of, beginning of the year, I said, yeah, look, New Year's Day, I said, look, this year, like I'm locking in. I was like, it's got to work. It's got to be this year. I
Yeah.
just, every year. I mean, I say it every year. Like, this is the year. This is my year that
Yeah.
something big is gonna pop. And I say it every
Yeah.
year. And that's just, I don't know if that's just my blind faith, confidence, whatever it may be. But I just, every year I'm like, yeah, this is gonna be the year. And my boy,
Yeah.
Dalen, shout out Dalen Davis, one of my good friends, man, a really good actor as well.
Mhm.
He hit me up on my birthday, and he was like, my birthday's January 26th. Hit me up on my birthday, and he was like, 2025, this is the year. Like randomly out of nowhere, he was like, "Hey, this is the year, bro. 2020." He said, "Happy birthday, 2025. This is the year."
Mhm.
That's the
Yeah.
message said. I said, "I appreciate it, But we always do that.
Yeah.
We always speak life into each other. So that wasn't nothing out of the norm for me. It was just like, okay, he's speaking life into the situation. I appreciate him.
Yeah. Yeah.
February. So I get the audition of Beauty and I get the audition, excuse me. And then what happens? So I get the audition. I forget what day it is. I think it's like a Thursday. I get the audition. Like a Thursday night, I get the audition. I get it in on a Friday. Get it in, submitted and everything. And it's like Tyler Perry. But man, when I tell y'all I've auditioned for Tyler Perry, like it's gotta be like, and I've counted them like 12, 13 times since
Mhm.
I've started acting. Man,
Mhm.
it was just like, oh, okay, well here we go. Like, and it's always big when it's Tyler Perry, don't get me wrong, but it's like, okay. Like I used to get them and be like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And so now it's like, all right, this is dope. Another Tyler Perry audition. This is dope. It's good. And George Lott with the Wool Agency, man, he always tells me like, I'm like, man, they keep sending me auditions, but they're not booking me. They're not booking me. He was like, it's a good thing that they keep sending you auditions. And I was like, I don't think they
Mhm.
like me. He
Right.
was like, they're literally sending you. What are you talking about? They're literally sending you
Yeah.
auditions.
Okay.
I'm
Yeah.
like, yeah, well, they're not booking me. He was like, well, clearly they see something in you. They keep sending you auditions. And I was
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
yeah, it kind of makes sense. I get it. But you ain't really trying to hear that when it's like, yeah, book me, man. I'm not
Yeah.
trying to hear all that. Like, book me, man. Like, please, like, come on. So, but I do the audition, um,
Yeah.
and I'm with my reader, and she's like, she watches Beauty and the Black Beauty. Oh my God, I keep saying that. Sorry. Well, I don't know if I can say it or not. But anyways, she's
it,
telling me to like do the audition. Appreciate it. She's like, do the audition
yeah.
this way. Do it this way. So I actually did the first couple takes, and she's like, my reader Leah. She's like, is it for this show? And I'm like, yeah. She's like, oh no, we gotta do this differently. I was like, what you mean? Because she's more now. I've seen it, like but like I hadn't watched the whole season, and so she's like, no. Like I watched the show, like I know like what it's looking for. And usually I'm like, I got this, but I listened to her. I was like, you know what? All right, cool. Like I'm gonna go ahead and. She was like, this is the tone of the show. She was speaking more towards the tone of the show. I was like, okay,
Mhm.
cool. Redid the takes, threw the other ones out. I don't know. Something just told me to listen. And so I redid the takes. And she's not an actor at all. Like she's not an actress. And she's a doctor. And so it was just crazy. But she was like, nah, like do it this way, like in this tone. Like this is the tone of the show. Do it this way.
Yeah.
And she's always a real cool about it. She's like, do you want my advice? I'm like, yeah. And she told me that. I was
Yeah.
like, all right, cool. Threw the other takes completely out. And I thought they were really good takes. Throw them out completely. So I'm going to redo
Yeah.
it. Did it in that tone. Cool. This is on a Friday morning. Submitted it. Got it off. All good.
Yeah.
I think Monday morning, Vilma hits me up. And she's like, hey, you get the check avail. I'm like, oh, okay, hold on.
Yeah.
I've gotten one from them before. Between Kim Coleman and Raven, I've gotten one from them before. I've gotten like 2 check avails from them before. I'm like, okay, this is a good sign. But still, I'm not getting my hopes up because I don't want to be disappointed. You know what I mean? So I'm like, okay, cool. Vilma was like, hey, are you available? Are you a local hire for here? Of course. Like, and I have family in Atlanta too, so I'm like, I'm always out there in New York, LA. Like, I'm always all over. So I was like, okay, cool. Are you available? Tell her everything. Yeah, cool. Boom. So then that was Monday. That was Monday morning. Cool. Wednesday morning, she hits me back again, and an email comes up and it says check avail. And I'm like, okay. So I read the email, and she's like, hey, they want to check in with you again and just confirm everything. So I confirm again. 5 minutes later, she hits me back, and the subject line says booked it.
Nice.
And I just kind of sat there just looking at it for a minute.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sitting there. I mean, just boohoo, crying, just because.
Okay.
Not even like, oh my God, I did it, but it was just like, okay, like I've been doubting myself. Like, am I really
good enough?
Like,
Yeah.
am I enough for these roles? Like, yeah, I'm good, but am I good enough? Is my acting strong enough? And do I, man? It's just like what am I not doing right? And so that was just validity. That was all the validity I needed and the validation I needed to just be like, okay, you where you supposed to be. And that for me, like that was it. The Tyler Perry nod. And also, man, my mom, man, God bless her. She's been my rock my whole life. Like it's been her my whole life. Like I've seen her work 2 or 3 jobs at a time, you know, just taking care of everything, you know, could never repay her. Could never do enough to repay her, man. And the biggest thing since I started acting, she was like, you know, before, and she young, so she just saying it, but she's like, before I close my eyes, you know, for the final time, I need to see you work with Tyler Perry. That's my dream for you. I see it for you, and that's my dream for you. You know, and so it was just thinking about all that, and like she literally would be on Facebook messaging Tyler Perry, emailing, Twitter, Instagram, DM. I said, listen, emailing. I said, listen, I want you to understand. I appreciate it. But Tyler Perry's not seeing any of these. I promise you, he's not seeing any of this. He's not seeing any of this, and I appreciate it though. And I was like, I don't know, like you or he is gonna see it. And he's like, you're getting on my nerves. I'll never put your son for anything, actually, you know. So, which he's not. He's such a good dude. He's such a good dude, man. But so I'm just doing all that. So just all that encompassing. Told her, she's crying. The day I booked, went over to see her. We just embraced each other, just boohoo crying, man. It was so crazy. Which is like, it was just that for me. It was just like I did it. I was like, if I don't book nothing else, man, like that's amazing. You know, being able to do that for my mom and her being able to see that, it was just everything, you know. And then just getting to work with Tyler Perry, man, like that's such a dope experience. Like I know people that have been acting forever, and they're like, "Yo, what? Like I've been trying to work with Tyler Perry forever." Like, and it's just like I said, it's another one of those things where it's like I don't take anything for granted, bro. Like I'm so appreciative. Shout out to Kim Coleman, Raven, everybody, you know, just everybody that was a part of this, Vilma. Just everybody, man, that's been there supporting.
I was gonna say, break some myths for us if you could, just a couple, you know, about working with Tyler Perry. What's that experience like, or what did you expect?
So you hear him, man.
The noise you heard, and then
I don't know where it comes from. I won't lie to you. So the biggest thing I heard was, he's a writer, so he don't like you to deviate from lines. You can't deviate from no lines, you know.
Yeah.
And I like to, man, when I get into a role, I like to get into the role. So if I'm reading the script and I'm like, I don't think he would say it like this. Like I like to change it up a little bit. And I've always been allowed that flexibility. They've always been like, oh, I like that you did that. Like, yeah, continue that way. And I've always been allowed that flexibility. So when I tell you I was so nervous, I'm like, man, I don't want to piss Tyler Perry off. Like I ain't trying to, you know, ruffle no feathers or nothing. Like I just got out here, you know. And everybody's like, man, he can be me. But what I realized was, man, because I actually went back, because like I would hear these things from other people, And then after I filmed with him and we, I shot with him and everything, I went back and asked him, I'm like, have you ever worked with Tyler Perry? And they're like, nah, I just heard things. And it's like
Man,
everybody that
right
has
there,
told me something negative,
right
they've
there.
never worked with him,
Haven't
And I'm
worked
just
with him.
like, yeah, I probably should have vetted that beforehand. But when I tell you I'm on
Yeah.
set, like, dang, I'm like, but at the end of the day, I was just like, look, I got to do it the way that I'm comfortable with doing it. And then if he say I don't want you to do it that way, it just is what it is, right? It's like I got to be me. So I went into it, and I think I changed the line on something. And he was like, I like that. Rock with that.
Nice.
All right.
Okay, cool. But I mean,
So
the whole
it
time,
is
like,
about the art for him.
he's oh my goodness. Oh, he's a genius, right? He's really a genius. And everything about him, and I don't even, like I said, I don't know where that comes from, because literally, like, the script is the script. You'll literally be doing a line and he'll say, boom, he'll throw in a line. Say this, throw this in there.
Nice.
Try that, do that,
Nice.
do this, do that.
I think a lot of
And
people
it's
need to hear
dope. It's
that.
like, yeah, man, it's I don't know where those things come from, and he's absolutely not like that at all. He's so down to earth, so chill. Like, I would finish recording my stuff, man, and I would be like, hey, like, he's so cool. Like, he's actually, I'll tell you this real quick. So when I first, sorry, I got family over here. So if that's loud, I apologize.
It's all good.
Yeah.
But yeah, so literally when I'm walking up the set, and I got my little script sheet here, and I'm reading it, and they're taking us to where we're gonna start at. I'm just reading, and somebody's like, "What's up, man?" And extends a fist, but I got my head down, and I'm reading. I'm like, "What's up?" It takes me like 15, 20 seconds. I'm like, hold on. I look up. It's Tyler Perry. I'm like, oh, like, what's up, bro? And I didn't realize he's huge, bro. He's got to be like 6'3", 6'4". I didn't realize he was that.
Okay.
He's a
Yeah,
big
he's
dude,
tall.
man.
Yeah, he's
He's
a
a
big
big
dude.
dude. I didn't realize
He's tall.
I'm 6 foot. Now I'm 6 foot. I'm not really used to people like towering over me. He's definitely towering over me. But yeah, he's real cool, man. Like, I would finish, my scenes or whatever, and I'd be like, hey, like, I love your work. Like, I've been watching your work a very long time. Like, and I would love to get into like production and everything one day. And I was like, I just see the way you work. Like, if you didn't mind, like, I just wanted to kind of, just watch how you work. Watch how you do certain things like that. He was like, yeah, come on. So literally, he's here, and I'm right over his shoulder, just watching stuff.
Yeah.
And literally, like, I'll see something and I'm looking at stuff. He'll point certain stuff out to me, man. He's so dope, bro. Like I said, don't know me from nothing, but he was just so cool and so dope. So I don't know where these rumors come from, man. Like, I whatever they are, man, I haven't experienced that at all with him. And like, I was out there with him for a couple weeks. He was so dope. And the way he films is so different from anything that I've ever done. And I mean, by that I mean, you usually on a set, man, you may do a take 12 times, you know what I mean? Like I was saying earlier, like, for me, after those first 3 times, it's like, I'm losing it. Like, I could fake it, but like, I'd rather not. Like, I'd rather just give that raw emotion. Tyler Perry's not like that at all. He's so punctual. Literally, we got on set, and no exaggeration at all. Anybody that's worked with him can attest. We get on set. How you doing? Meet everybody. All right, cool. Can I get this camera here? Lighting here. All right, y'all ready? Cool. Rolling, action, boom. And it's like, oh, like, right into it. Like, I would say this, he's very punctual, and he expects you to know exactly what you're doing, which, as he should be, As he was saying, he was like, man, look, this is funded by me. Like, this is funded by me. Like, I don't have the big corporate backing. This is funded by me. So, like, time is money. And that, absolutely, like, time is money. Like, so, like, let's not waste this time. And I think just him being that genius that he is, I think he also understands that, like, you're gonna get the best raw emotion and those best takes in those first few takes. And so, like, that's what it is. There is no, we're not sitting there 10 takes in. Like, it's like the first few takes. Like, that's why he's so punctual. He expects you to know what you're doing. He expects everybody to have be on their game, and like, and let's do it. Let's knock it out.
Just like on your plays on the football field. Yeah,
exactly. I expect you to come in here and be a professional and know what you're doing. That's it.
Yeah.
As you should, though. That's nothing out of the ordinary,
In every arena. Yeah.
That's what it should be, though. And I love it. And I loved it. Man, like I said, it was the first time working with him, but it was just, everything was just so into the take, out the take. Let's set it. Let's get the wide shot. All right, cool. Let's move on. And I love that personally. Like, for me, that works the best for me. And I know, you may not get that anymore. So definitely cherishing that. that experience for sure.
Yeah, bro. So I'm not like you worked on you actually did a music video with designer as well. You also been on the film Urban Education. Got to definitely have to check that out, and so many others. And I saw that you also were with the actor slash stunt performer. I'm trying to find his name. Why is his name escaping me right
Donnie.
now? Donnie, yeah,
Donnie Carey.
Donnie
Yeah,
Carey,
Donnie
yeah.
Carrington. Yep,
Yeah,
yep, yep.
yeah. So did he ever share any information with you to help you with your career, or
Yeah,
what was it like just meeting him and talking to him?
absolutely. So, me and my boys, we, like I said, fresh in acting, went down there, spoke with Donnie. Man, he was just so much knowledge and just insight of the industry.
Yeah.
Shout out to Donnie for sure. Just yeah, it's just gems. Actually, we went to it's in like a actors thing in Atlanta called Actors Link Up, I believe.
Hmm.
Um, man, and he just so much knowledge and so much just this insight to the business, um, and just so many gems. You know what I mean? And a
Yeah.
lot of times when you talk to people in the industry, you hear a lot of the same things. You know, but Donnie, I think, was one of the first people that I spoke to that just gave it to you. Like, look, this is the real. Like, you're gonna get in, you're gonna get out what you put in. Like, it's just simple as that. He ain't sugarcoat
Yeah.
nothing. He ain't beat around the bush. And for me personally, that's how I best receive information. I can, and y'all can keep the rest of everything else. Like, tell me what it is and what it's not.
Right.
So yeah, he definitely gave me the ins and outs. And Donnie told me, man, he saw me. He's like, man, I could definitely see Michael B. Jordan type path. I said, hey man, hold on, don't tell me that, man. He definitely gassed my head up, man, for sure.
Yeah.
I said, hey man,
Yeah.
hold on. So yeah, so
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's always cool to meet others that are up there. He has an
Absolutely.
amazing career as well, working on
Oh
Black
man,
Panther
man, yeah.
and I think Suicide Squad, so many others. Baby Driver, his well, y'all they can see his IMDb. The man been putting in work for over the
Yeah.
years, so
Donnie's
it's
been
always
man,
great
Donnie's
to
been in everything, man. He was in
yeah
Creed too. He was on Creed, so
yeah
Donnie's
he
been in
wasn't.
everything, man. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's always dope to meet others that are that up there at a certain level, certain tier, and giving you the real raw advice that you need to get you to that next level.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
yeah, man, yeah. So yeah.
So let me ask you, what has been some of the worst advice that somebody's giving you, and some of the best advice somebody's giving
Oh man. So I would say this. The best advice
you? Yeah.
I would say is um so George Lott, man, he's talked to me a lot of just early on in my career for sure. Like he was the person that he just gave me um like that confidence, you know what I mean? That like he sat there and did meetings with me, didn't charge me a dime.
Mm,
And this is when he was just starting the WO agency, and it's become so big and so crazy, man. He got so much going on, and it's like he's been like a mentor to me like every step of the way, even to this day. Like I just spoke to him yesterday. He's so cool. He's so dope, bro. Real down to earth. But he was literally just telling me like, these are my plans. This is what I'm gonna do. And he was like, look, man, like I see you on this type of career path. He was like, just stay true to yourself and just, like pretty much just put in the work but more than put in the work, he's like, you gotta have a plan, plan this stuff out, figure out what you want to do, how you want to do it, and like how you want to navigate this space. And he was like, you have everything you need. He was like, get the fundamentals down, of course, like the fundamentals of, acting and everything like that. He was like, but then just, he really was the first person that I guess like my first mentor, I would say, in acting.
mm,
And I mean, every conversation, he's gave me so many gems. Like I said, even to this day, like literally yesterday, he just put me on game about something else. So he's just, like I said, never charged me a dime for it. And so like, I could never, like, you could never make me hate George Lott, man. He's done so much for me. Just really the biggest thing he did though, man, was just instilling that confidence in me, because I was like, I want to be an actor, but I was like, I don't know how far I can really take this. I know where I want to take it. He was really the first person to tell me like, nah, you can really like take this further. You can really like push it. You can go as far as you want to go in this. It's going to determine, the work that you put in. So, shout out to him for that. That I think and that's the biggest thing I think in my career. Just somebody giving me that confidence. It's like, okay, well, like somebody that's in the industry, like telling me like, yo, you got what it takes. Like you can do this. Like
Same.
go do it. So
Yeah.
oh, and he's
Same.
so like straightforward. Like it's it's no nonsense with him. Like, he's straightforward. He's gonna tell you what you need to hear. Like, whether you want to hear it or not. There's been times where I'm like, I literally told him, I was like, dang, you just kind of crushed my spirit a little bit with that one, but I appreciate it, for sure. And he gonna tell you exactly what you need to hear. And so I definitely appreciate him for that. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know. I talked to somebody about that one time. Like, I appreciate the honesty, because we do need to hear that sometimes, even though it does kind of like, dang man, that's kind of harsh right there. But we do need that true honesty, because they care, and they don't want to see you go down a certain path. And that took me a while to with some people. I was like, dang man, you kind of all right, bro. But
yeah, like dang, I'm like the coach. I'm like, read the message. I'm like, dang, George, you ain't have to. All right, I want the honesty, but dang, but no, it's what I needed though, and I work, like I said, I work best off that anyway, man. I've never really been one for the well, what do they call it, the sandwich method, where they're like, oh well, we're gonna tell you what you did good, tell you what you did bad, and tell you what you did. Nah, just tell me what I need to improve on. You know what I mean? Like, give me my flowers as well. I appreciate that, but more so, like, I need to know what I need to improve on. I'm such a I'm a forward thinking person, so like, tell me what I need to work on, so I can take this home with me and I can go work on it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so I'm not a fan of anybody or the people looking at my work, especially that I know I could have did better, and like, oh yeah, cute, great job, clap and applause. What areas of improvement do I need? Because that's going to make me the best at what I'm doing, and the best is just approaching the role, approaching the scene, and giving it your all. Like you said, time is money. You know what I'm saying? And I don't have time. A lot of times we want take 3, take 4, take 5, or we lean on that. Oh, I'll get a couple more takes. No, you got to come in here with your best. So if people around you are not pouring into you to build and grow you, you're always going to stay at a certain level, and that's not what we want. And I can hear that from you too. Like, you want better. So we need people around us to tell us, hey, I see what you're doing, but let's go here so we can take it there. So that next role is out the park.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna lie, man. I test people sometimes, man. Like I'll have something where I'm like, I know this ain't. I know I definitely could have done this better. Like, this wasn't my best work. And I was like, hey, what you think about this? And they're like, oh my God, it was amazing. And I'm like, oh, okay. Can't trust your opinion now. Now I can't trust you no more, man. I can't trust you, man. Because now you know what I mean? You'll have me out here thinking I'm Denzel or something. You know what I mean? I'm out here thinking like, oh, that's it. Like, I'm, and it's like, nah, so but I need to hear that. Like, shout out to my boy William Jefferson, him, my boy, go by Hollywood Bob on Instagram. He's up and coming. He's a star too. Will's been in everything though. Talking about Bobby's up and coming for sure.
I appreciate
Will. He's done so much. Oh man, Will's he's that dude, man. He'll if you say it to him, he try to be humble about it, but Will's that dude, man, for sure.
I tell Will every time, bro. Every time I will hype you up, bro. Every time I do not care, because I appreciate
all
the
the
honesty.
time.
Yeah.
Will try to hype you up and be like, oh my goodness, you just like, you killing it. I'm like, bro, you literally been in everything. Like, please. Will literally had to move out of Chicago because he was just booking everything. He was like, there's really nothing else for me to do here. And he's in Atlanta. Now he's in Atlanta killing it. He in music videos with Glorilla and Lotto. It's crazy, man. He's doing the thing, man. So shout out to Will. But Will's somebody else that, like we got a group chat and we'll send stuff in there. Like, we'll do auditions and like, hey, what you think about this? And they definitely like, you could have leaned a little more into this, or you could have did, like, you know what I mean? It's definitely, I trust them too. Like I said, Hollywood, Bobby and Will. I definitely trust those two. George as well. I definitely those people, like, I'll lean on if I have like questions about audition, or if I think like, hey, like, and I've sent them stuff before where I'm like, let me see, and they'd be like, nah, this ain't that. Or I've seen better from you, and it's like, okay, all right, bet. I know I can, and and all three of them have helped me with auditions before, so they know like the work I can do and stuff. Actually, the role I booked, and man, I can't wait until I can speak on it, man. It was just a blessing. I actually booked it. I did the audition. So like I said, I auditioned for that one. Going back to the Tyler Perry thing. So I got the first check avail for Tyler Perry on that Monday. The Tuesday, the next day, is when I got the audition for, I think that night I was in the gym or something, and I got the audition for this one. It's huge, and man, it's just a blessing. Like, I literally got the audition for this one, and I'm like, man, I need to get this. I want to get this in tonight. Like, I'm in the mood. Like, I'm in that mode. I'm like, I need to get this in. So I actually hit up Will, and he actually coached me on the audition. So I'm at the I drive a Tesla, so I'm at the charging my car. Literally, I'm like, Will, like he has I don't know if you know about Actor Advisor.
Oh yeah.
Really dope,
Yeah.
really dope, man. He's helping a lot of people like get
Yeah.
on in the game and everything. But he also
He's
offers
helped me.
like self absolute see what I mean?
Yeah.
He's dope, man.
Yeah.
Um and he offers like self tape coaching. So I went to him or whatever, got him. I was like, yo, I need you to help me with this. He's like, I got you. I'll make some time. Like, so I appreciate him so much for that. Like, he literally made the time. Like I said, literally, I'm charging my car at the charging station, and we're on like FaceTime. Send him the script or whatever. We're going over it. He's giving me pointers, and it was dope. And I'm literally sitting there talking to him. I'm like, this is all stuff I knew. I was like, but like having you here and like just talking this out, just sometimes it's not even just somebody telling you what to do. It's just having that sounding board. You know what I mean? Of somebody that you trust and that you know like he knows what he's doing, and having that sounding board. And a lot of it was him just validating things that I knew. You know, of course he gave me some, some gems and stuff too, but a lot of it was just him validating stuff that I already knew. And I'm like, okay, cool. And like I've never like when I walk into auditions, man, I never say like, oh, I get out of audition, I send it off. I never say like I got it. I'm looking at it. I don't know what it is. But we did that audition. I went home. I did the audition. I sent it to him. He gave me some feedback on it. I adjusted that based on that feedback. I took what he said and I kind of watched it again. Cause like, everybody that I go to, like I take that opinion in, but at the end of the day, it's gotta be you. So like, if I feel like, I get that advice, he gave me some advice on it. I thought about it and I was like, like that was good advice. I was like, but I kind of like the way I did this. So I stuck with this, but then I did tweak something based on what he said. But then I sent it in and I literally texted him. I was like, I don't know. I was like, I'd never say this. I was like, I don't talk like this. I was like, but I booked that. I was like, I had to, bro. I don't know. Like, there's nothing else they could be looking for. I was like, I booked that, bro. And I don't know where that, like, and I said, I don't talk like that because, like I said, I don't like to get in that mindset of like thinking I booked it and I'm waiting for it. But I don't know. I felt it. I just felt it. And I literally texted him. I said, I booked it, bro. He's like, I know you did. I was like, no. Like, I'm telling you, I booked it. Yeah. And so I'm on set with Tyler Perry. We're on set. I do my scene. I come off. And I go and I check my phone real quick. And I usually don't check my phone when I'm on set, but something just told me to go check my phone. I check my phone. Shout out to Vilma. It's Vilma again. Yeah. Said you booked it. So and then we booked it. And I was just like, so I'm on set and I'm like, I can't even like celebrate. I can't even like celebrate. Right. I'm like, no, I'm fine. I'm good. I'm good. Let's do it. Like, let's go. I'm ready to get back on set now. I'm hyped now. I'm ready to get back on set. Like me out the best take of my life, And it was just crazy. I had so much going on at that time. And it was just crazy because my sister, she just had she was having my niece too. So like literally the week before that, she was like, are you gonna be in town? And I was like, yeah. Like I'm coming, I'm be at the hospital and everything. I'm gonna be here. Like, I got you. Don't worry about it. And I was like, just thinking, I was like, God, I'm not saying I don't want no role. I'm never gonna push no role away. I said, but if this baby could just be born this week, that way, like, cause I'm doing these auditions, I was like, that way, if something does happen, that I can be here for that and then go off. Of course, she didn't come when she was supposed to, and then I booked, so I had to leave. And so I'm on set, and they send me pictures of it, and I'm like, oh my goodness. And then I booked that, like literally like 10 minutes apart from each other, and I'm just like, yeah, this is it's been a run. It's been a crazy start to the year, and I always just want to keep the momentum going, man, and I always try to, like be where my feet are and be appreciative. I struggle between, my friend, like I got a real good friend, Cerise, and she really tells me, she's like, yo, you gotta like give yourself your flowers, so to speak. I struggle with giving myself my flowers and being like, hey, I still got work to do. Cause I'm like, this is cool and all. Like, I'm cool. Like, I'm glad I did this. I'm so glad. But literally, I'm on set and I'm going home at night and I'm right back on Actors Access, with the roles that I need something else. Cause I want to just keep the momentum going. You know what I mean? Yeah. Drake said in the song, man, he's like, how you off one hit, do it again. So that's my mindset. I'm always like, one is cool. It's like, I've always booked something. It's like when I booked Fatal Attraction, I was okay, cool, book Fatal Attraction. I'm on TV. Let's do something else. And then I got Urban Ed. Well, I did the other things in between that, but then I got Urban Ed. It's like be a lead in a feature film. I was the 2 in Urban Ed. Yeah. So I was like, okay, cool. Now let's do something else. Like, let's book one of these, these real big productions. Did that, and I'm like, okay, well, let's do it again. Like, and like booking like a guest star and then being able to be on, you know, so many episodes of that's coming up, man. It's amazing. But I'm like, okay, well let's book something else. And then to book that like, literally as I'm on set with Tyler Perry was so crazy. So now I'm just like, I'm hungry, man. I'm hungry. And I don't think like nothing is really gonna satisfy that, which I love, you know, but I do understand now that I have to also enjoy where I'm at, you know, and give myself the grace to be like, you know, you're doing a good job. You know, I think a lot of times I don't extend myself that type of grace. I'm just like, I got more work to do. I got more work to do. And and I've done that, and you'll burn yourself out if you don't take a step back and say like, yo, you know, like I'm doing good. Like I'm doing good things, you know, like I'm putting in good work. I'm putting good things on tape and everything like that. And so it's a balancing act, you know, and I'm still working on it, but that's what currently where I'm at.
Yeah. Nice. Before James take us out, I just got one question that I've been hearing. Kind of you touched on it briefly, but just talk to us about like your ingredients that you feel made you, because what I keep hearing you talk about is perseverance. I hear you talk about not being worried about outside noise. You know, and these are a lot of things that affect people. Not being able to navigate through all the pressures and the noise, you know, of just life, and especially when we're trying to do this art that not a lot of people can really tap into. And I hear that you're tapped in, really, you have that thing. I know that, you know, your successes are going to continue because you have all the good ingredients. So talk to us about like your foundation, like kind of before football, you know what I'm saying? Or just what kind of makes you and your mindset. Yeah.
For sure. I think my upbringing, man, like I tell people all the time, like I come up from nothing. And whatever you think it is less than that. You know what I mean? So in my mind, there is like, I don't really get like, typically I don't really get nervous. I don't really get like worried or anything like that. Cause it's like, it's been worse. It's literally been way worse than this. Like it can't get worse than where it's been. And so like, for me, it's like acting has been, I'm so blessed to be able to do this. And it's just like you know, like if I don't book a role, yeah, it sucks. But like, what's the next thing? Like, it can't get. It's like I come from nothing. Like, you know what I mean, the projects and all that. So it's like it's nothing. I'm kind of unflappable in a way. It's just like nothing can really get to me. People saying stuff about me it can't really get to me. Like I've been at the bottom of the bottom of the bottom. So I think that, and then it's also my upbringing, man. My mom, she just always instilled that in me. Like I've seen her, like I said, work 2-3 jobs. If she can do all that and take care of me while doing it, if she can do all that, I can do it. You know what I mean? I can persevere these things. It pales in comparison to just the things I've seen and the things that I've been through, and you know, my mom watching her, like I said, and it's a big deal. But I go about that like anything in life. Even like when I was struggling, when I didn't have the money, even in my adult years, you know, struggling, not having the money to do this, not having the money to do that. Like it sucks, but it's never that bad. And I think my mindset, man, I'm just always like, it's not that bad. Like I have this redeeming aspect about myself to where it's just like, no matter how bad it gets, I can always come back. I can bounce back from it, you know? And I think a lot of it starts with mindset. And I think if, you know, you got your mindset in the right place, it's always a chance for, you know, change or an improvement. So I think that'd have to be it for sure.
Dope. Yeah, a lot of people don't even take their, I'm not gonna say negative, but they don't take their environment. If it's something that wasn't desired, they don't take it and flip it into a positive. So the fact that you were able to flip it into a positive is a great thing. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And you're looking at, I call it the glass half full approach. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times as we navigate through life, we're like, oh God, why is this happening to me? Why is this happening to me? Well, glass half full. Thank you that I made it through. Thank you that I survived. Thank you that I'm able to take this and turn it into something that looks good for me or feels good for me. So that's dope.
Exactly. And like I said, when bad things happen, man, I'm just kind of like, the way I kind of look at things like, it could be worse. Like, you know what I mean? That's just the way I kind of think about it. It helps, you know, it just kind of helps. Like, for example, like you miss a car note payment or something. It's like, it could be worse. You know, it could be worse than that. You know, it gets like life. Like I think that the way I just look at life, man, it's like, I just try to look at, man, it's so many people that are, even when I was down bad and like not doing really well, it's like there's people that are doing way worse than me. You know what I mean? And they still going.
For sure.
Like I see people all the time that just persevere, and like I got people still, you know, that are like, you know, not doing great. And it's like, they're still pushing through. They still persevere. It's like, it can get worse. Like
When we feel like we
I've
can't
been,
make it, we still make it a
yeah,
few more
yeah,
steps.
it could be, you know what I mean? I can go a little
Yeah.
bit further. Like I can push a little
Yeah.
further. And I've always just
Yeah.
think like, I try not to think, oh, this is bad. And like,
Mhm.
instead of saying like, dang, this is so bad, I kind of think like, dang, I'm
How
fortunate
do I
that
need to pivot?
it's not that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm really blessed
Okay.
that it's not this bad. I'm really blessed that it's not
Yeah.
this bad. Like it could be this. I'm glad it's not that. You know what I mean? So like I said, it's mindset, and I don't want to make it seem like I don't go through things or like I don't have times where I'm down about stuff. You know what I mean? Because that's absolutely not the case. You know, but I was also like a psych major in college before I switched to physical wellness. So just I know everything. A lot of it is mindset, you know, and so that's just my mindset. Just having like, all right, cool. Dang, that sucks. What's next? Let's do it.
Yeah.
How can we move out from this
Yeah.
spot? How can we pivot from here? And also the biggest thing I lean on, and I preach all the time, man. Control what you can control. Like if I leave anybody with anything, I tell them control what you can control. So for example, I tell somebody like, yeah, this is going bad. Can you control like for example, you fail a test, you fail a test in school. Or like I have friends that are like in school and stuff like that, and they taking tests and they're like, man, I'm worried about this test. I'm like, why? Like, what are you stressed out about? Like, can you control it? Like, is there something you can fix?
Mhm.
No?
Mhm.
Okay, then it is likely gonna be what it's gonna be anyway if you can't control it. And that's
Man.
just the, you know.
Yeah.
So like if you can control it, then do what you can. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
you got this test coming up. You knew you had this test coming up.
Yeah.
You worried about this test. You stressed out because you don't think you're gonna do good on it. Did you study for the test? No. Okay. Well, I mean, at this point, it is what it is. You know, how do we move
Yeah.
forward and how do we, you know, that's just kind of how I would look at life, man. Control what you can control is my
Yeah.
biggest thing, and I just go from there, honestly.
Yeah.
Dope.
Yeah, man.
Dope.
That's it right there, though. And you know, that was actually my next question. You know, share a gym
Okay.
with you that was going to help us. But you know what? That's
That's
a
it.
gym.
Control what you can control.
Yeah, that's a
Control.
gym right there,
Control.
man.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
yeah, man. I greatly appreciate it on that one, man. So like we
absolutely.
said, shout out to Velma with Dream Team Talent. Shout
Oh,
out to George
absolutely.
Locke from the Woe Agency.
Mhm.
And thank you, and shout out to you and your friends and family that hold you down when you are booking these roles and trying to figure out
Mhm.
this crazy thing that we call acting, this art. So,
Hey,
Yes.
that's it. That's it.
yeah, appreciate it, bro. So
Yeah.
tell everybody where we can follow you at.
Yeah, on Instagram at Ace Dotta, ACEDOTTA. I'm on there. That's really all I get on for real. I don't really like social media, but I understand like where we are in this industry. Like you kind of got to, you
Same.
know. But
Yeah.
so I'm
Yeah.
on there because a lot of it is I'm on there because I gotta be. Other stuff that I'm on, I
Yeah.
just got accounts just to watch stuff. Like I'm on TikTok.
Mhm.
I'm on TikTok literally to just watch TikToks, bro. That's
Yeah,
it.
Mhm.
watching
But yeah, Ace
videos.
Dotta is that's the social media that I'm on at Ace Dotta. But yeah, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
most
But I
definitely, bro.
appreciate y'all for having me, man. I felt so
Yeah.
bad, you know, not being able to do it last week. I got called out to LA for something. I'm like,
Oh,
dang, man. So I definitely was like, I got to make sure I, you know, make it up to you. So I'm like, I like to try to be a man of my word, man, whenever I can. So
yeah, nah, man. Everything happened for a reason, bro. We just appreciate you
Yeah.
for coming through and everything, because like
absolutely.
I have to balance out all the interviews and everything else. So now we just appreciate it for you just coming through, and we definitely will have you come back again once the other roles
Absolutely.
that you cannot really. Well, I know the roles that you cannot mention. Definitely have you
Yeah.
come back on and do a part two, bro. It'll be just like you coming to your cousin's house. It's like, what's up, cuz? Like, where we at?
That's what it
So
feel like, man. It don't feel like an
yeah,
interview, man. That's why I'm on here. I tell people
Yeah.
all the time, and I typically, man, I'm typically like, I'm not a big talker until I get like, but you get me in a space to, you know, with people that, you know, I feel comfortable with, and I'll talk all day, man. So I definitely appreciate y'all for having, you know, making it a welcoming environment for sure.
Yeah.
yes, sir. Yes,
For
sir.
sure.
Ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. Ace Small, man. Y'all
Yeah.
be on the lookout for him. He doing some big things on the stage.
Appreciate y'all. Thank y'all so much, man.
Yes, sir, bro.